Fisco Limited was incorporated in 2007. We ran as Christmas Time UK, which was our only real offering, and Fisco then was very much an e-commerce based online company. Fisco today is 10 people. I run the company now alongside Russell Brown. So Fisco is three arms of trading really. We have the online retail sales, which is predominantly Christmas Time, UK.com, plus some sales on Amazon and a couple of other websites that we still trade. We have Fisco Trade, which is our sourcing and bulk ordering arm. So that anything and everything that is Christmas bulk ordering or commercial decorations, we sell as Fisco. Then we have Fisco Projects, which is our all-encompassing design, install and maintenance part of the business, which is the newbie. That's the bit we concentrated on 4 years ago, and that's the bit that we continue to concentrate on and has been the saviour of the company. In 2007, we were in a Portakabin. So I think when we went live with Chaos, we had one website, which was christmastimuk.com. And we had a couple of plans for Celebration Time and a website called Fairylight UK at the time. So the development we had with yourself then was to find a way to prepare accounts, P&L accounts for the three different brands. That was our goal, that was our mission. We have since developed the warehouse into a proper structure that we use with racking and shelving and bin locations. It was a shop when you joined us. The system that we took at the time has had to mould and adapt to how we've changed. Our online business now is 20% of our turnover. The rest has been a very defined change by us to try and find recurring income. One of the biggest problems we had in the early days with Christmas was it was easy to put a website up. It was very easy for people to find you and to advertise that you were selling your wares online. The problem we found as time went on was that as we were growing, that growth sapped cash. We're having to buy stock March, April time, and we weren't getting any income from that until we sold it in November time. We were also finding over the years as well the big squeeze from Google one end, and we do sell on Amazon, so we were also facing bigger challenges from competitors within the Amazon marketplace. We were forever filling an empty, leaky bucket really. Every year was a fresh start. We had no repeat business. Indeed, part of our problem was the more we have good Christmas products to sell, the less chance we've got of somebody coming back next year because they're going to reuse them. Marketing-wise, very tricky. You're always trying to find new customers. We did have some really good commercial clients, but the constant pressure that we're sitting here now in February and the constant pressure each February to try and repeat what we'd just experienced and grow again was very hard. We needed to find either a new route to business or we needed to do Christmas across the board. And we had the opportunity to get involved in installing decorations rather than just supplying boxes of them. And the challenge then was we're going to actually probably lose some customers because some of the customers are now going to see us as competitors. We made the big decision then that we were going to try and turn 80% of the business into projects and maintenance contracts rather than just trying to sell more boxes of decorations. That's been our saviour. And we've had to use Chaos to adapt to that. We've had to use the facilities here to adapt to that. We're growing the trade business and we're growing the projects business, probably at the detriment to the online stuff, but we're finding everything else being far, far more profitable with less competition. The transformation as far as resources go that we've currently got, we had to be very, very honest with staff here 4 years ago and actually say, forget what you've been doing and question absolutely everything in this company now, because where we've come from and where we're heading is a completely different world. We're now producing graphics. We've got a product designer on board that we didn't have before. The team of installation people we've had to acquire. There's also everybody else's job here within the business change. So Julie, for instance, who's our warehouse and sourcing manager, all of a sudden she's gluing baubles into garlands or trying to come up with new designs and new themes for us to sell commercially. Everybody's job has changed, and we're fortunate in that bar one person, we've retained everybody through their transformation. One of the reasons we set Fisco Projects up was it was a perfect storm. There'd been 2 companies go into liquidation in the previous 2 or 3 years. And one of the problems we saw was that some of the clients were not being serviced by the other companies. They were after the bigger, prestigious shopping centres. They're not the centres that we are trying to model ourselves on at all. So the concept for us was that we give the service that the mid-range shopping centre wants, which I think they weren't quite used to. And what we were finding was actually carrying that through, installing the day they said they were going to install, in an efficient manner, tidying up after yourselves, leaving the mail spotless as it was when you arrived. That's the bit that was sadly missing, and that's where we have probably been most successful. Russell or myself are generally on site on every install, which again, it does at the moment restrict our growth, but carrying through that culture that it's important to go around picking up the cable ties at the end of the night. You sweep up after yourselves. You deliver what you said you were going to deliver. So you can take one of our graphics from the presentation and you can take the photograph at the end of the night when we finished the install. And we pride ourselves on the fact that the two look alike. Not everybody does that. So just do what you say you're going to do. Operationally, space. Personnel, we thought we might have a bigger problem with, but actually, as we've grown and as we've got a reputation, we're getting people coming to us, wanting to work with us. We've outgrown the warehouse here. We are now actively looking at purchasing land to start our own build. We've made do with what we have here. We've beautiful offices in the middle of Lincolnshire. We've just had red arrows flying over us today. It's a superb location, but we're in farm buildings that were meant for agricultural use originally. We're making do, and we now the challenge for us is to actually provide ourselves with a new home that's fit for purpose. We consider 2 big competitors of the projects in the UK. We're unique though, and that's one of our selling points when we're discussing proposals and tender documents with our prospects or new clients. They don't have ChristmasTimeUK.com. That offers us the freedom within the projects that we've got a fantastic stock cupboard out there. We can control colours, we can control how many. That gives us an advantage over anybody else. So the mix of the 3 parts of the business is possibly also it's definitely our unique identifier. As much as it helps each other, it's definitely a synergy of the 3 parts coming together. Opportunities for the business are actually presenting themselves to us, which is an amazing position to be in. We went 4 years ago from having to have 1 member of staff on the phone every day, ringing every shopping centre we could get our hands on to find out when the contract was up for renewal, who to speak to, could we come in and talk to you about Christmas. That day is gone, thank goodness. So the challenges are how we manage that next level of growth. We could easily double the business this year. We have more contracts that we're bidding for than we actually have on the books today. So we are at that point of, well, where do we go with the next level? So the challenge for Russell and myself is to steer this next 6 months of tendering process, really. We've grown organically to this point, and we've just got to make sure that we manage this next phase, which is going to need more resources, is going to need more staff, is certainly going to need bigger premises, and that's uncharted territory for us. We've spent so long building it up to this point. We've now kind of reaping the reward of our efforts, but the next challenge is, well, we've got to do the next 3-year plan. This 3-year plan, looking back, has been easy. I think the hardest time's coming.